All right, let's talk about our financial 15. So I'm going to switch to, all right, it is time for our financial 15, and we're going to plug me in the bottom there. So this is the time when we go over our financial planning strategy. The today starts a beginning of a three-part topic, and it is common Roth IRA questions. And you'll see I've got them listed out here, but we're going to go over them one by one. And this first part is contributions. So I'm going to put this down so I can draw on this as we're talking. So this part is contributions. Next week will be conversions. They're two different things. And then the third week will be distribution. So two ways to get money into a Roth IRA. That's contributions and conversions. And then at some point, you want to take money out of the Roth IRA. So the first question we often get is, hey, what's the benefit of a Roth IRA? Well, the benefit of a Roth IRA is there's some things that you have to do to qualify. We'll talk more about that in the distribution section. But the benefit is that when the money comes out of the Roth IRA for you or your heirs, there is no tax. Yes, you have to follow the 5-year rule. We'll talk about that during distributions. But the real benefit of the Roth IRA is zero tax for qualified distributions. There's some other rules on distributions. You have to be over 59 and a half with some exceptions and whatnot, but really the benefit is 0% tax on distributions. So the reason that you don't pay tax on distributions, qualified distributions, is because you pay tax to get into the Roth. That's the cost to get into the Roth. And we'll talk a little bit more about that as we move forward. So then the next question we often get is, well, can I contribute to a Roth IRA? There are some requirements for contributions to a Roth IRA. First of all, you must have earned income. So if you're retired, you likely cannot contribute to a Roth IRA. If you have earned income, you should be able to contribute to a Roth IRA. How much you can contribute is dependent on your income, your age, and how much tax you want to pay on that contribution. And we'll talk a bit about that. But you must have earned income. So many people say, well, how about my Social Security? I have a pension and I have some rental income. That doesn't count. It has to be earned income. Now, what if you have a year-end bonus that you retired at the end of 2022 and you received you received a bonus in 2023? Could that be considered earned income? It probably could. So you may have another year of earned income. Now, what about your spouse? What if you work and your spouse does not work? Well, this is something that's often missed. You can do a spousal contribution. So if you meet the requirements to do a contribute to a Roth IRA, and say your spouse stays home with the kids or is unable to work or whatever, and you have earned income and your spouse has no income, you can do a spousal contribution up to the same level you can contribute. So you don't want to miss that. That is commonly missed. So we're going to talk about contribution levels in the next step. But if you can do $7,000 a year, then of course your spouse may also be able to do $7,000 a year. And that's doubling, obviously, $14,000, another $7,000 that you can put in. So you don't want to miss that one. That one's often missed. Sometimes people come to me and they say, well, we've been trying to get as much in there as possible. We've been doing this for years. And I say, well, you can do a spousal contribution, even though your husband or wife, your spouse is not working. And they kind of slapped their forehead and said, geez, I wish I would have realized that 5 years ago. So how much can you contribute to a Roth IRA? So I'm going to bring you over here to this green chart. This is one of the charts we use all the time. Now, let me just show you where you can get this. I'm going to pull this website down. So this is Attleboro Wealth Management website, obviously. And you want to go over here to Education and Resources. And here's the slot corner. These charts all come from Ed's group. I want to give them credit for that. You want to scroll down here to the bottom. You can download this. See, that's the green chart we're looking at right now. That's the tax planning chart. Here's the uniform lifetime table that we talked about during the webinar, the main webinar. Oh, and if you're just joining us in this Financial 15 section, I forgot to say, please hit the like, subscribe, and notification button. But if you want to go back and look at the entire webinar from the beginning, we talked about market updates and some IRA distribution updates from the Ed Slack group. But you can download all of these that we refer to for your use. All you got to do is put in your email address and you'll be all set. All right, let me find my cursor and I'll put this back. All righty. Okay, so this is the retirement plan contribution limits. So now let's look at IRA and Roth IRA contribution limits. So you'll see that these are the same. So traditional IRA and Roth IRA contribution limits. And let's look at 2023. So if you, the way this is written is the maximum contribution in 2023 is $6,500 for everybody. But if you're over 50, there's also a catch-up contribution you can do that takes you to $7,500. So now, again, don't forget about that spousal. If you're just working and your spouse is not for some reason, then you can also do a spousal contribution of $7,500. So the IRA, traditional IRA, and the Roth IRA have the same contribution limits. Yes, it's different for retirement plans and 401ks, but right now we're talking about Roth IRAs. Now, it doesn't stop there. So that's the, can I contribute? How much can I contribute? Okay. There is something that's special about a Roth IRA, and there are these phase out limits. So what is a phase out? For 2023, for a married couple, this is based on modified adjusted gross income. If your modified adjusted gross income is above $218,000, then you cannot contribute to you begin to phase out the amount that you can contribute to a Roth IRA. And I should have had that here for us, but there's a schedule, that the IRS schedule, that helps you determine what the reduction is. And once you reach $228,000 of modified adjusted gross income, $228,000 equals no Roth contributions. So if you make too much money, you can't contribute to a Roth IRA. For a single or filers or head of household, that reduces down to $138,000. That's when the phase out begins. So less and less. So if you can contribute $7,500, maybe you can only contribute $7,000. If you fall in between here, or $6,000 or $5,000, until it gets to $0. And once you cross over $153,000 as a single filer or head of household, or $228,000 as a married couple, you can no longer contribute to a Roth IRA. I have a whole video on backdoor Roth contributions. So we'll put that link to that video in this. We'll just wave my hand so my son pays attention to it, but we will link the video to that. But you can do you may be able to do what's called a backdoor Roth contribution. That would allow you to make a non-deductible traditional IRA contribution, immediately convert that to a Roth IRA. So that's kind of a way to circumvent these phase out rules. There are things you have to be careful about, though. There are these pro rata rules, and it can cause a large amount, if not all of your, it could be up to a much larger amount of your contribution to be taxable. So it can get messy. So be aware of that. But there is something called a backdoor Roth contribution, and we'll link the video in this YouTube video segment. So that is how much can I contribute to the Roth? So then when can I contribute to my Roth IRA? And this is a big difference between a contribution and a conversion. So you can contribute up to your tax filing deadline. So if the tax filing deadline for 2024, we're in 2023, if the tax filing deadline for 2023 is April 15th, 2024, and I'm going to put an asterisk here because I don't know what it is. I'd have to look. If it falls on a holiday or weekend, it pushes to the next week, next business day. But let's say for all intents and purposes, it's 4/15/2024. Then you have up until that tax filing deadline to make a Roth contribution for 2023. So that's good. It gives you some room to see, okay, what exactly was my adjusted gross income, my modified adjusted gross income, and what are my phase out levels? Do I fall on that phase out level, or do I, can I make a contribution, or can I make a contribution? Because if you over contribute to a Roth and you're not supposed to, there is a whole process. There are penalties for that. Of course, you have to take out earnings. You have to take out the original contribution. It can be costly. So you have up to, you can of course you can make a contribution for 2023. Of course you can. You can make a contribution for 2023 all the way up to April 15th, or the tax filing deadline for 2023, which would be in April of 2024. So that's an easy one. Now, what can I invest in my Roth IRA? These two are connected. So let's take those together. What can I invest in with a Roth IRA, and what type of return can I expect from my investment in my Roth IRA? So this is often confusing to folks. They think, okay, Roth IRA is a different investment than my traditional IRA. It's not. It's just different packaging. It is different tax treatment. That's all it is. If you have an investment you like or that's appropriate for you in your traditional IRA, you can invest in it in your Roth IRA. So if you own ABC fund or ABC stock in your traditional IRA and you want to transfer that to your Roth IRA, you can do that. You can do it as a contribution. You don't have to liquidate and then do it again. You can, if there's a great fund that you enjoy, that you can have, that it works for you, that you can own in your IRA, your traditional IRA, you can own it in your Roth IRA. There are, of course, some limitations. The limitations are really difficult to trigger. You can't own an antique chair in your IRA. You can't, there's certain things you just can't own in your IRA, but there's a whole universe available to you. So then what type of return can I expect from my investment in my Roth IRA? People ask this. They say, well, heck, I earned 10% last year in my traditional IRA. What kind of return am I going to get in my Roth IRA? Well, if you can invest in the same things in your Roth IRA as you can invest as you can in your traditional IRA, you should theoretically or actually get the same type of return, right? You may want to change your investment structure in your Roth IRA, and that's a discussion you should have with your financial planner, your investment manager, or go through the process yourself. But what type of return can I expect from my investment in the Roth IRA? The same type of return that you would in your traditional IRA. Very simple.